friends, I am Amar Mohite. Today we will discuss photostability studies of new drug substances and new drug products, that is ICH Q1B. Friends, I have already uploaded the video on ICH Q1A R2, that is stability testing of new drug substances and new drug products. ICH Q1A R2 is also known as a parent stability guideline. It talks about the general principles and requirements related to the stability studies. As per ICH Q1A R2, the light testing should be an integral part of stability studies. That is, the effect of light should be evaluated during the stability studies. However, the guidance related to the photostability studies is not mentioned in parent guideline, that is ICH Q1A R2. Instead of that, ICH has created a separate guideline for the photostability testing of new drug substances and new drug products. It is called as ICH Q1B guideline. ICH Q1B guideline addresses the requirements related to the photostability testing of new drug substances and new drug products. Friends, in this session, we will discuss the introduction, purpose of photostability testing, the procedure to be followed for photostability studies, and what is force degradation study and confirmatory testing related to the photostability studies. There are different objectives of photostability studies. The first objective is to evaluate the intrinsic photostability characteristics of new drug substance or new drug products. The second objective is to demonstrate that the exposure of light does not have adverse impact on the quality of drug substance or drug product. That is, to demonstrate that the exposure of light does not result in unacceptable physical or chemical changes. The third objective of photostability is to identify the precautionary measures to be taken during manufacturing or testing of drug substance or drug product if your drug substance or drug product is light sensitive. The fourth objective is based on the overall photostability studies, understand whether light resistant packaging or special labeling is required to mitigate the effect of light on the quality of product. This is required if your material or product is light sensitive. However, the suitability of your light resistant packaging should be assessed or evaluated based on the photostability studies. Your photostability studies should indicate that your packaging, or that is light resistant packaging, is effective enough to mitigate or to minimize the effects of light on the quality of your drug substance or drug product. There are two different types of photostability studies. First part is force degradation study, which is also known as stress testing, and second is confirmatory studies. Force degradation studies are those undertaken to degrade the sample deliberately. The force degradation studies are generally performed during development phase to evaluate the overall photosensitivity of drug substance or drug product, to identify the different degradation pathways, and to develop and validate the stability indicating methods. The confirmatory studies are those which are undertaken to establish the photostability characteristics of drug substance or drug product under standardized conditions. So what are the standardized conditions for confirmatory studies? For confirmatory studies, the samples should be exposed to light providing an overall illumination of not less than 1.2 million lux hours and integrated energy of not less than 200 watt hours per square meter. So how to achieve these conditions, or how to identify the exposure period to achieve these conditions? Friends, you can find different types of photostability chambers in market. Few chambers are automatic, where you can set the value of 1.2 million lux hours and 200 watt per square meter. So after setting those values, you can keep those samples in photostability chamber, and after achieving the desired conditions, the photostability chamber will automatically produce alarm which will indicate that the samples has been exposed to 1.2 million lux hours and 200 watt per square meters. Another way to identify or to determine the exposure time is you can calculate the exposure time manually based on the intensity and energy of your photostability chamber. For example, if the intensity of your photostability chamber is 50,000 lux hours, so how much time it will take to provide the overall illumination of 1.2 million lux hours? 1.2 million means 12 lakh. 12 lakhs divided by 50,000 will be equal to 24. That is, if the intensity of your photostability chamber is 50,000 lux hours, so to achieve the 1.2 million lux hours, you have to expose your samples for 24 hours. That is, 12 lakh divided by 50,000 is equal to 24 hours. Similarly, if you know the energy of your photostability chamber, you can also identify the exposure time to achieve the overall energy of 200 watt hours per square meter. For example, if energy of your chamber is 10 watts hours, so 200 divided by 10, so if you expose your samples for 20 hours, it will achieve that desired conditions. So the basic difference between forced degradation study and confirmatory study is that confirmatory studies are to be conducted under standardized conditions. Standardized conditions means minimum illumination of 1.2 million lux hours and energy of 200 watt hours per square meter. Whereas for forced degradation study, the requirement is you have to achieve the degradation between 5 to 30%. For example, the observed degradation is below 5%, you can modify your exposure time, you can increase the exposure time to achieve the degradation between 5 to 30%. Similarly, if observed degradation is more than 30%, you can revisit your exposure time, you can minimize it, and you can achieve the desired degradation, that is between 5 to 30%, by minimizing the exposure time. So basic difference is post degradation studies can be conducted under different modified conditions, whereas confirmatory studies are to be performed under single standardized conditions. What is the purpose of confirmatory studies? To identify precautionary measures to be taken in manufacturing, sampling or testing. If based on your confirmatory studies, it is identified that your material is light sensitive, so you can mention or you can identify the precautionary measures to be taken during manufacturing, sampling and testing to avoid the degradation due to exposure of material to light. Similarly, based on confirmatory studies, you can identify need of light resistant packaging and special labeling. So friends, the force degradation study on single batch is sufficient. Similarly, confirmatory study on single batch is sufficient to identify these requirements. But if the results of confirmatory studies on single batch are inconclusive or misleading or confusing, you can perform the confirmatory studies on additional 2 batches. So overall, after evaluation of results of 3 batches, you can draw a conclusion regarding the precautionary measures or need of light resistant packaging and special labeling. There are 4 different types of samples shall be considered for confirmatory studies. First type is dark control, that is unexposed samples. These samples shall be wrapped in aluminum foil and kept into photostability chambers. The purpose of wrapping aluminum foil is to protect your sample from exposure of light. The second type is directly exposed sample. For example, in this case, you have to expose your sample directly into the photostability chamber. If in case of drug substance, you can keep your powder in petri dish and you can expose that petri dish in photostability chamber. Or in case of drug product, you can directly expose your tablets under photostability chamber. If your sample is liquid, you can pull your sample in transparent container and expose those samples into photostability chambers. So these samples are called as directly exposed samples. The third type is immediate pack samples. It means that you have to expose your samples in their immediate pack. For example, in case of liquid, if your immediate pack is ampoule, amber color ampoule or transparent ampoule, in that case you have to expose your ampoules directly under photostability chamber. For example, in case of tablets, you can expose your tablets in aluminum strips or blisters. The fourth type is market pack samples. It means that in this case you have to expose your samples in their market pack along with their secondary packaging materials. One thing shall be kept in mind that this dark control sample shall be analyzed along with these samples. The strategy for analysis will be first analyze directly exposed sample. If the results of directly exposed samples are meeting your specification limit, there is no need to continue analysis for immediate and market pack. If results of directly exposed samples are within limits, it indicates that your material is not light sensitive material. If the results of directly exposed samples are not meeting the specification limit, in that case you have to analyze the samples in immediate pack. If the results of immediate pack are within specification limit, then no need to analyze the sample in market pack. If the results of immediate packs are within limits, it indicates that your primary packaging material is effective enough to protect your drug from light exposure. In case the results of immediate pack are not meeting the specification limit, analyze the samples in market pack. If the results of immediate pack and market packs are not meeting the specification limit, it means that your packing configuration is not suitable to protect your drug from the light exposure. In that case, you have to revisit or you have to redesign your packaging material in order to protect your light sensitive material from light exposure. So after redesigning of your primary and secondary packaging material or packing configuration, you have to reinitiate the confirmatory studies by following the same route. Analyze directly exposed sample first, then immediate pack sample and market pack sample. Or in this case, if initial study indicates that your material is light sensitive, that is directly exposing samples is not meeting the specification limit, in that case you can directly analyze the immediate pack samples and market pack samples to confirm that whether your redesigned packing configuration is able to protect your drug from light exposure or not. So friends, this was all about the photostability studies, that is ICH Q1B guideline. If you have liked the content of this video, I would like to request you, please subscribe my channel. Thank you very much.